The Beneventi family name carried weight on the East Side. Not the kind of weight you read in the papers, but the kind that made hard men bow their heads and kiss rings. Don Carlo Beneventi sat at the top, running numbers, controlling docks, owning judges, and settling disputes from Little Palermo to the Brooklyn waterfront. Beside him was Donna Stella Beneventi, elegant in silk and gold, her smile as dangerous as her husband's temper. She ran high-end boutiques uptown, places where the dresses cost more than a soldier's yearly take, fronts for cleaning the family's money. And then there was Diana Beneventi, their only child, the princess of the Beneventi Empire. She'd just come home after finishing business school, all poise and fire. The old man called her beautiful. The younger ones knew better. She had a mind as sharp as a switchblade. On a quiet Sunday, the Beneventi mansion smelt of cigars and imported coffee. Carlo sat in his chair, Stella on the velvet sofa, when Diana called him into the lounge. "Ma, Pop, there's somebody I want you to meet. He's important to me. I'm gonna marry him." Stella swirled a wine, studying her daughter. "Who's the guy?" "His name's Joey Doc Romano. Smart, humble, got backbone. Everything I ever wanted in a man." Carlo leaned forward, his cigar smoke curling like suspicion. "Where's he from? What crew's he with?" "No crew," Diana said evenly. "He's an orphan. Went to med school, got the degree. But he wouldn't play dirty for the hospital board, so no job. He took work down at Pier 19, hauling crates, keeping watch, and running his own seafood hustle until something better comes along." Stella's brow arched. "A trained doctor working the docks?" "Yes, Ma. He didn't want to sit around. Started moving imported fish to restaurants. Works hard." "And that's the guy you think you're bringing into this house?" "Yes, Pop. We met at Club Maranzano. I was there with friends, and he came in with a delivery of fresh bluefin. He was polite, quiet, and knew how to talk without yapping. I liked him." Stella set down a glass with a sharp click. "So because he's got manners and a nice face, you want to marry a guy who's got nothing?" "He's got plenty, Ma. Vision, honor, treats me like I'm the only woman in the world. I've never been happier." Carlo sneered. "A doctor who ends up slinging fish on the docks wants to marry my daughter? That's a joke." "He didn't beg me to love him, Pop. You always told me to look for a man with values, not just envelopes of cash." "Values without money? That's worthless in our world. You think love pays for soldiers, for safe houses, for respect? Do you know how many maid guys with fat envelopes have asked for your hand, and you pick a broke longshoreman? He's not just a longshoreman. He's a trained doc doing what he can. He didn't choose poverty. He chose dignity." Stella's eyes narrowed. "What family's he from?" "He's got no one. Lost his folks in a car job gone wrong when he was 16. Worked his way through school, side hustling at the docks. No uncles, no aunts, just him." "So if you marry him, there's no tribute, no sit down with the elders, no proper handshake with the commission? That's what you want?" "I want a man who's loyal and respects me. That man is Joey Romano." Carlo crushed his cigar in the ashtray. "Listen good, Diana. If you keep down this path, you're no longer my daughter. You marry that nobody, you're dead to me." Stella gasped. "Carlo, she's our only child." "She'll listen or she's out," Carlo roared. "This is our legacy. I won't let her drag it into the gutter for some broke dock rat with a diploma." Diana stood, eyes blazing. "I'm not changing my mind. I'd rather be broke with a man who loves me than rich and miserable with some stranger." "You step out of this house for him. Don't come back," Carlo warned. "Then I'm leaving. Joey didn't force me. I choose him." She stormed upstairs, packed 2 bags, grabbed the phone, and walked past the guards. Outside, Joey waited in a beat-up black Lincoln. When he saw her, his jaw tightened. "They give their blessing?" They said if I marry you, I'm no longer their daughter. His face fell. I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean. You did nothing wrong. Let's go. The Lincoln rolled down the east side back streets, leaving the Beneventi mansion and its iron gates in the rear view. Joey Doc Romano kept both hands on the wheel, eyes scanning alleys and rooftops out of habit. In this city, you didn't just watch for cops, you watched for anyone who might be looking to settle a score. They pulled up to a converted two-story safe house in the quiet part of Red Hook, the kind of place the big crews ignored because there wasn't much to steal except bad wiring and busted streetlights. Inside, the room was clean, simple. A single bed, a table, a couple of chairs, and a gun safe under the floorboards. Joey unloaded her bags. I know this ain't a mansion, he said, locking the door behind us, but it's mine, and I work my hands raw to give you more. Diana brushed his cheek with her fingers. I'm not here for a mansion, Joey. I'm here for you. A week passed. Word spread fast on the street. The Beneventi princess had run off with a dock worker. Respect in this world wasn't just about money. It was about who you were seen with. The whispers weren't kind. One hot afternoon, Diana sat outside on a chair, enjoying a rare breeze, when a voice cut through the quiet. Well, well, if it ain't the little Beneventi princess slumming it. Diana looked up. A woman in her 30s strutted towards her, hips swaying, gold hoops glinting. Her name was Rosetta, a loudmouth from the Gianetti Cruz neighborhood. Afternoon, Diana said flatly. You're the rich girl who ran off to shack up with that broke dock rat. Figures, you could have had diamonds. Instead, you're sitting here smelling of fish crates and cheap soap. Diana's eyes narrowed. You got something to say? Say it. I'm just trying to help, Rosetta grinned wider. You're too pretty to be wasting yourself in this gutter. You should be in a penthouse with some made man who knows how to take care of a lady, not some nobody who can't buy you perfume. Mind your business, Rosetta. Oh, I'm just trying to help. I could introduce you to a few big earners in the city. They'd set you up real nice. All you gotta do is... Diana stood, her voice low and sharp. Say one more word about my man, and I'll make sure you're eating through a straw for the rest of your life. Rosetta laughed, but there was a flicker of caution in her eyes. Defending him, huh? Fine. Stick with your poor dock boy. See where it gets you. You'll both be broke forever. She turned and walked off, her laugh trailing behind her. Diana's hands trembled, not from fear, but from the anger boiling in her gut. She went inside, shutting the door harder than she needed to. That evening, Joey came home with a duffel bag of ice-packed fish from the docks. Sold the tuna at a good price today. Things are picking up. I'm proud of you, Diana said, trying to smile. He noticed the tension in her voice. What happened? Some mouth from the Gianetti block came by, called you broke and ugly, said I should be with a made man instead. Joey smiled faintly. Do you believe her? No, I don't, but it still pisses me off. He took her hands. Babe, I may not have the world to hand you right now, but I swear I work day and night until we don't have to count pennies again. You believed in me when no one else would. I'm not letting you down. She kissed his knuckles. We'll make it together. Back at the Beneventi mansion, the air was tense. Donna Stella sat by the window at night, chain-smoking and staring into the dark. Don Carlo acted like nothing was wrong, burying himself in sit-downs and union meetings. But the truth was, the family name being whispered in street corners burned them alive inside. One afternoon, the heavy oak doors of the mansion flew open. In stormed Jack the Jacko Caporetti, tall, slick suit, gold watch glinting, eyes cold. The son of Capo Vince Caporetti and nephew to the old Don himself, Jack was used to getting whatever he wanted, and what he wanted was Diana. Jack, Stella said, startled, what's the meaning of this? You don't just barge in. Cut the crap, Jack snapped at her, jabbing a finger at her. Is it true? Is the Beneventi princess shacked up with some doc nobody? Stella tried to calm him. Jack, You don't understand. I've told my family, my crew, the commission, she's mine. Now you're telling me she's with a bum? It wasn't planned, Stella said softly. She left without our consent. Consent? You don't understand. I've told my family, my crew, the commission, she's mine. Now you're telling me she's with a bum? Diana's a grown woman. She made a choice. Jack stepped closer, eyes dark. Tell your husband if she's not back in this house by the end of the week, I'll light up everything you own. You know who my family is. You know what we can do. He stormed out, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the glass. 2 days later, Joey sat in a dim back corner of Club Maranzano, eating a plate of pasta after unloading crates for a morning. The joint was mostly empty when the door swung open. Don Carlo Beneventi stepped inside, flanked by 2 soldiers.
His eyes locked on Joey. Joey stood. "Afternoon, sir." Carlo's voice was ice. "Save it. You're gonna stay away from my daughter. That's why I'm here." "With respect, Don Carlo, Diana and I already made our choice. I didn't force her." Carlo leaned in close. "You don't get it. If you don't walk away, you'll disappear. I mean it." "Sir, I love your daughter. I work hard for her. She's not suffering." Carlo laughed darkly. "Love don't pay for protection. Love don't buy influence. You're dragging her into poverty and making me a joke on the street." "I didn't come to shame you, sir. I came to love her." Carlo's jaw tightened. "Stay away from her or I'll crush you. I know where you sleep." "You can use your power, Don Carlo. I've got nothing to hide. I'm not afraid." Carlo's eyes narrowed. "Last warning, kid." Then he turned and walked out. The next morning, Joey headed to Pier 19 as the sun came up. He stopped cold. The warehouse was gone. Black smoke rose from charred beams. The cold storage where he kept his fish was a twisted wreck. The side office where he kept his ledgers was ash. Joey fell to his knees. His hands shook as he touched the burned concrete. All his work, all his money, gone. He ran back to the safe house. "Joey, what happened?" Diana cried when she saw his face. "Pier 19. Torched. Everything's gone." "It's my father. I know it. That bastard said he'd deal with you." Joey grabbed her arm. "No, don't go making it worse." "Worse? He wants war? He's got it." She stormed out before he could stop her. At the Beneventi office downtown, the guards blocked Diana at the door. "Sorry, Miss Beneventi. Orders from the boss. You and your boyfriend ain't allowed in." Diana's jaw clenched. "So I'm banned from my father's place now?" "Yes, ma'am." She spun on her heel and went to Stella's boutique. "You finally got what you wanted. The docks are ash, Joey's broke. Congratulations." Stella's face went pale. "What? Who said?" "You tell your husband he's a heartless son of a—" "Diana, listen to me. Carlo is an animal sometimes, but arson? That's not him." "You really believe that?" Diana's laughter was bitter. "Then someone else wants him ruined." 2 days later, Diana sat outside a small diner, drinking water and thinking about how to find work. A black Cadillac pulled up. Out stepped Jack the Jackal Caporetti. "Well, well, from princess to pauper," he sneered. "What do you want?" "I'm here to save you. You come with me, I'll put you in a penthouse, you'll never work again. Just be my girl." "I'd rather starve." Jack's smile turned cruel. "So it's still about that bum Romano. He's finished. His docks are gone. He's nothing." "Don't talk about him like that." "I'll talk how I want. Your whole family begged me once. Now you're nothing." Diana stepped forward and slapped him across the face. "I am not for sale." Jack's eyes went cold. "You'll regret that."
A week later, Joey was walking home after asking an old med school friend for help. Empty-handed, hungry, and tired, he saw a man collapsed in an alley. Nobody stopped. Joey checked his pulse, weak. Without thinking, he hoisted the man over his shoulder and carried him 6 blocks to a clinic. An hour later, the doctor told him, if you hadn't brought him, he'd have been dead. Severe dehydration. When the man woke, his voice was gravelly. You saved my life. Name's Don Eduardo Maranzano. Joey froze. The old boss was a legend. He controlled half the waterfront unions and owned private clinics. You didn't know who I was, and you still carried me. That's rare in our world, Eduardo said. Days later, Joey and Diana sat in Eduardo's mansion. After dinner, the Don took them to a brand new building. Edward Memorial Clinic, the sign read. It's yours, Eduardo said, handing Joey the keys. Run it, make it clean, save lives. That's how I say thank you. Joey was speechless. You've suffered enough. Now it's your turn, Eduardo said. Weeks later, Don Carlo suffered a heart attack when his main smuggling warehouse burned in a suspicious hip. Every hospital turned him away until Stella remembered Joey's clinic. Joey worked on him himself. Mild cardiac arrest, he'll live. When he woke, Stella told him, the man who saved you is Joey. Shame flooded Carlo's face. I wronged you. Joey nodded. I forgave you long ago. 2 weeks later, the church was packed with dons, capos, and soldiers. Carlo stood beside Stella as Diana and Joey were married under white marble arches. Dr. Joey Romano, Carlo announced at the reception, is my son-in-law. That night, on their balcony, they looked at the city lights. We made it, Diana whispered. Yeah. Love won. A knock at the gate. Don Eduardo walked in, smiling. To love, to second chances, and to doing good. And in the world they lived in, that was as close to happily ever after as you could get.
Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.